you. That was actually kind of summarized a good part of what I now don't have to repeat. So you won't get it double. It's really great to be able to be here with you and to be able to provide lunch for you today. The concept for Lost Province evolved, and we had to first sort out whether we were going to be a distribution brewery with a tap room or whether we wanted to do the full restaurant. And it was after some spending a weekend with our son in Minneapolis when he still lived there, and he introduced us to wood-fired pizza, that we kind of connected the dots that we wanted to do both parts. He's the perfectionist, and so he was a little bit concerned about us trying to get 30 pizzas over here because they weren't going to be served fresh, hot from the oven. So I invite you to come by the restaurant to get your pizza that'll be fresh and hot from the oven, because it truly is an amazing pizza style. It's based on the Neapolitan style of pizza, very thin crust, and we've introduced you to a few of our house pizzas today. I'm just going to share a few comments about how Lost Province has evolved and kind of our commitment to really sustainability in the broadest sense. And when we think about sustainability, we're thinking about economically, environmentally, and then something that is equitable, and that being what is just and right, fair and reasonable. And that all of those concepts were incorporated into our vision and mission statement. And that was likely one of the first things that we did as a company, is we needed to really know what we wanted to be about, because that has helped guide decisions over the past year. We just celebrated our first year, and we've learned an awful lot along the way. And we're at a point now where we feel really comfortable with having good systems in place, and there's just a lot of fine-tuning going on with what we're doing. I'm going to touch on just some of the sustainable principles that we try to incorporate in the work we do. Economically, obviously, that includes the long-term economic viability of the company. And we are truly a small family-owned business. And it is primarily myself, my husband Andy, our daughter Carolyn, who's in with the pizzas, and our son JP. And something that, you know, what I'm not afraid to tell people is that I'm not afraid of hard work, but I don't think I've ever worked so hard in my life. So hopefully this next year, you know, we're getting a little bit more sleep and able to delegate more. The other part of economic sustainability is supporting and buying local. And with the premise that buying local keeps 4 times the money in the local economy. And to us, that's a really important principle. That started with the construction phase. We've used the local architect, we've used a local contractor, and most of his subcontractors were local. And I can't tell you the number of times how often we were thanked by the subcontractors that they had work to do in their home community. And so, you know, we started there, and then we have developed a number of relationships with different vendors, and most recently with some of our farms in the community, and we're sourcing as much as we can from local sources. This time of year, it's much easier to do. As we get into the colder season, we've started reaching out, doing more regional sourcing of food at that time. The other thing that we've added, and we feel is important to what we're doing, is we have music, currently Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, and we use a lot of local musicians, and we believe in paying them fair wages as well. We want music that to be part of the fun of coming to a brew pub. Environmentally, as it was touched on, since it was a new project, we had the option of going with energy efficient appliances. We have incorporated recycling into everything we do, composting, and we have farmers come and get the spent grain after the brewing process. Yeah, LED lights. I mean, you know, I'm actually amazed at our energy consumption is below what we had predicted, so that is a plus there as well. The whole concept of reuse and planning this event, you know, it's like, can you bring napkins and plates? Well, we use cloth napkins and glass plates, so that was not something that we could easily do, but I see that they at least use compostable plates and not styrofoam. So, you know, that's incorporated just with the fixtures. And then even for the wood-fired oven, we source it from a local vendor, our wood from a local vendor, but it's sustainably harvested with horse and, I mean, no mechanical, you know, and all.
Yeah, I mean, we get our wood from Mountainworks, and they farm on steep slopes using horse-drawn teams. So they're actually culling weaker wood out of the forest to let the remainder of the forest grow to maturity. So that's a really good thing to help forestry in our area too.
And then we also are very committed to paying our employees fair wages. That is something that we continue to refine. But we have an employment model that is built around teamwork and ensuring that all employees make at least a living wage for a single person in Watauga County. And we do this through providing each employee with a base wage at or above minimum wage. And then we have a tip sharing process. And we're in the process of refining that with input from the employees. We want everybody to be happy. You know, so far it's worked out really well. And so even, you know, the typical startup jobs in a restaurant, we call them general utility workers, but your dishwashers, the people cleaning, are making over $10 an hour with this method. And that enables them to be able to support their families. We're also committed to providing full-time employment to those that want to work full-time. The restaurant industry has historically really, I mean, it's a group of employees that over the years, you know, have gotten the bad end of the deal, so we're slowly trying to change that. It's a big industry to have to change that, but we, you know, we're trying to do our part to do the right thing by all employees. And having been in the human service field for so long and looking at what happens when to many in the restaurant industry, it's low wages, it's underemployment, and very often just part-time employment, and it's very hard to support yourself and a family. So that's kind of just in a real, you know, general sense what we're doing. You want to add?
No, I would just say, you know, brewing beer is a really energy and resource-intensive process. So on the brewing side, Lynn mentioned we recycle all of our spent grain for animal feed. We're doing everything we can to mitigate the organics in the waste stream. We neutralize all chemical waste, make sure it's compatible with disposal in municipal sewers. We recycle as much water as we can out of the brewing pot process. We don't just dump it down the drain. We recapture it, use it in the next brew. We also recapture a considerable amount of heat when we do that, so that's other energy that gets pumped back in the product instead of getting wasted. So these are just a few of the things that we're doing to try and make sure that we're making the minimal impact that we possibly can, and also conserving the resources that we consume. Obviously that saves us money. So it's good in the short term, it's really great in the long term too, so that's what we're doing.
And, you know, at the beginning, you know, it was mentioned, you know, we are striving to be a destination brewery, and when we set out on this venture, we really wanted to appeal to the broader community. And, you know, when I look at what's happened over the past year, you never know who's going to walk through your door. But I think we've been very successful. We have a very strong local base of community, you know, people that come on a regular basis, and they've sustained us through the slightly slower times. But it's balanced out with what I say, the broader ASU community. We know when you're in session. But it's also about the faculty, staff, and the students. We're not a student hangout. And I like to say most of our entertainment's at the, we're the early version. We're doing trivia night now, which has been a big hit. And we do music at the earlier hours, so those with other obligations can come out and enjoy music. So we're trying to be a fun community destination, and then we have tourism. So, and it's really balanced out nicely over the past year, and that all three demographics are really important. I was commenting to someone, the one area that we luckily went in the least prepared was with the whole marketing side. You know, you put so much energy into getting open, and then you realize that, oh gee, we gotta really have a good marketing plan. So we've been refining that over the year, but I will leave out on the table just, I meant to put it out before, a copy of our menu so you can see the variety of things that we do have. We do have more than pizza. Our gluten-free pizza, we make our own crust in-house. Everything we do, we make fresh in-house. And we don't buy anything pre-made. We have a great pastry chef right now, so the desserts are constantly changing. And the menu will change based on what's seasonal and what we can get regionally and locally. So those are kind of driving factors with the menu, as well as we try to incorporate beer into as many things as we can. For people who don't like beer or are gluten-free, we offer a pretty decent wine list, and we're getting, again, that's one of our local partnerships, is we're working with a couple of local wineries and actually cideries now. So there's hopefully something for everyone, and then we have great non-alcoholic beverages too. So we're very kid-friendly, so kids just kind of blend in. So, does anyone have any questions?